With that, I'm gonna jump right to Jason LeRoy. We're gonna jump right into some standards and some of the key elements there. Jason, I'm just gonna let you introduce yourself and take it away. All right.
All right, thanks, Mel. I appreciate it. My name is Jason LeRoy. I'm a partner at a regional accounting firm called Dorn Mayhew, based out of Michigan. I know that we're behind a little bit on time today, so I'm going to skip a couple of the slides to see if we can catch up a little bit. Today, what I'm going to go over is some of the resources that are available to our members, standards-related resources that are available to our members. So let me share my screen. So I'm going to skip ahead a few of these slides because I want to catch up on the time. But what I'd like to do is explain quickly and show on the website where some of these resources are available to members. I've been a NACVA member for almost 20 years, and I always knew this information was kind of out there, but it wasn't until I was applying to be a member of the standards board that I really took the time to look at this and read through the information that's here and really understand it. And then once I was elected to the standards board, I went back through and really looked through everything with a fine-tooth comb. And there's a lot of great resources here that I want to make sure all the members on this webcast are aware of. So let me, what I'm going to do is just pull up the website. So here we are just looking at NACVA.com. And if you follow along with me, I'm going to click on this associations link. And there's a link right here called Professional Standards. And if you click on that, it brings up a whole host of fantastic information. Obviously, it starts at the top with the current professional standards. This used to be down in the page a little bit, and we just moved it up to the top to make it a little bit easier to find. So if you click here, you'll see a link to the current professional standards. So you can click on that, and that'll take you right to the current standards. Down here is a link to some of the recent changes that we've made to the standards. And then in this link, this tab below, you've got a list of historical standards. So going back to 2002, you can see the different versions of the standards that have applied going back almost 20 years. Some other resources here are we have a standards comparison chart. This is probably a document that's familiar to most of the members. We have 3 versions here, one from 2018, 2020, and 2022. The standards board is currently reviewing this current standards comparison chart to see if any changes are made. And if we do need to issue a new standards comparison chart, we'll hopefully do that soon and have that ready for the summer super conference. But what this does right here is this has all of NACVA standards, and it compares them to USPAP, ASA, and the AICPA. I know there's a lot of members that have to follow more than one set of standards if they're ASC members or AICPA members, and this is a great resource to compare the different standards. Also, we have here is an international standards comparison chart. You have 3 different versions. The last one was issued in June of 2022, and we're in the process of reviewing this to see if we need to update or change anything. Here you have the NACVA standards, and we have them compared to some of the international standards. We have a comparison to the International Evaluation Standards Council here. We have this comparison to the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors here, and then the CBV Institute here. So this is a great resource if you're trying to compare one set of standards to the standards of another organization. Another tool or resource that the standards board is in charge of maintaining is a glossary comparison. So we have 2 links here. One's to a domestic glossary comparison, then we have an international one. If you click on this domestic international glossary, what you can see on this left-hand side is a number of terms. And then if you see the NACVA accepted definition, if it's blank, that means that this is not included in the NACVA glossary. You have the definition of the International Valuation Glossary, USPAP, ASA, and AICPA. This is a great resource to see how the different organizations, what terms they recognize and what the definitions are for each of the organizations. And then there's an international one as well. So these resources are probably the most known and most, I would say, viewed of the resources that the standards board is kind of in charge of. But there's a few other ones down here that I think are great resources as well that I don't think I was fully aware of how much was here until, like I said, I was looking to apply to the standards board. Here's a link to some articles on ethics, and there's a lot of great articles here, and each one of them probably not overly lengthy. You could probably click through and read all of these in about an hour or so, but there's a lot of really good information. If you have an hour to kill, or if you want to catch up on some of your ethical standards, there's some really great questions and some really great information in these. Standards and ethics facts, FAQs. This is probably the most, in my opinion, one of the most valuable resources here. If you click on this link, we have this standards and ethical facts library. We have both litigation questions and non-litigation questions. I would like to point out that this is non-authoritative, but the way this is done is if we receive a question from a member, the standards board will review the question, provide an answer, and provide an interpretation. And if we think the question is relevant enough to the member base, we would put it here in the facts library. We've been talking a lot today about calculation engagements. The first question here is spot on. Are there situations in a litigation setting where a calculation may not be appropriate in lieu of evaluation? So here you can see the response from the standards board to that question. So you have a number of litigation questions here, and if you scroll down further, there's some non-litigation related questions here. Is a NACVA member required to follow USPAP, and some other great questions, which include the standards board answer and interpretation. In the couple minutes that I have left, I want to point out that there's this Q&A hotline. If you click on this link, it'll bring you to this site where you can submit an ethics question, standards or ethics question. You can put your name, your email. This can be anonymous, and then here you can provide some information on the question that you have, and hit submit. And it's a real easy submittal process if you have a specific question. This section provides information on different training resources. So if you click on one of these links to one of these workshops, it'll provide information on the workshop and some dates and times that those workshops are provided. Here's a link to some resource toolkits. If you click on this link, you can download, oops, looks like I have to log back in. You can download some information on templates and engagement letters. It's a great resource. Another great resource is this video library. I expect this clip will be up here soon, but this is just a video library of some questions and answers and presentations that have been done by standards boards members on various topics. So you can browse through those. And then there's a few other links down here at the bottom, which are also valuable. So like I said, I'd been a member of NACVA for almost 20 years, and it probably took me until just before I was elected to the standards board, until before I really understood what was here. But there's some valuable resources here, and it's definitely worth a few minutes of time to scroll through those.